What's up, guys? Back with another video. I'm doing these back to back. I'm wearing the same clothes. Um, right after our big trip to Xiahe, or not Xiahe, right after our big trip to Dunhuang, we went to Lanzhou. And Lanzhou is like a province, basically, or like a larger city area. And we went to Lanzhou. The first thing we did while we were in Lanzhou was we went to this place and we had this thing called la mian, which is beef, like beef noodles. And it is basically like the Chinese version or the original version of ramen. Um, and this is like what the Japanese like gathered inspiration for ramen from. And so basically, you get this bowl of noodles. They're piping hot, and then you have they bring out beef to you. That's like, I want to say it was like, it wasn't raw, but it was like kind of pink. But the broth is so hot that you put the beef in and it kind of cooks the beef, or it was already cooked and we just put it in there and it warms it up. Regardless, it was easily the top three things I had in China, and I want to say it was the best thing I had while I was there. I took a picture of it while I had it because I was like, this is so delicious. And it was probably one of my favorite things. I love noodles, and it was just so, it was kind of not basic, but something that you could see yourself eating in America, but that was also like, this is like authentic Chinese food. And I absolutely loved it. Couldn't say enough about the beef noodles, honestly. It was a one lunch day, but it was like, this is gonna stick with me for a long time. So thank goodness I have the pictures. I got a little bit of a live photo, so hopefully I can play that whole thing. But yes, absolutely great time. And then we actually ended up going to Xiahe County, which is like a smaller area within Lanzhou. And this is a Tibetan area. So in this city or this county, there's like a Tibetan like monastery, I want to say, if that's the word for it. Yeah, Tibetan monastery, because like the monks are there. But so this city is kind of like built around the monastery, and this I think was whenever the journey to China trip really got interesting, because this was whenever you kind of saw the economic disparity in China, because we were in these huge cities, Beijing and Xi'an, like you really have like all this like opulence, I'd say, but then going to Xiahe, you realize like, man, like this is not the best place. Like this is kind of a poor place compared to Beijing economically. But I think also that's like, I think that's also a aspect, or like that is due to some part because it's like a Tibetan monastery, because part of like part of Buddhism is, or like part of Buddhism is like not having too many earthly possessions. So I mean, that kind of makes sense, but then also I think it was it wasn't super, like, it was kind of lackluster. And also, like, this is like, it really was important to think about in the terms of geopolitics as well, because this is in China, but this is a Tibetan, like this used to be Tibet. Like China has like kind of took over this area, and it very much still shows, because the people there, they don't look exactly like Han Chinese people. They don't speak Mandarin necessarily. Like some people will speak Mandarin, but a lot of people speak Tibetan, and it shows. Like whenever I'm out in public in China, like people are always gonna look at me. I know that, but then whenever I'm speaking to people, they won't say anything back because they don't know what I'm saying, because I'm speaking like a toddler's Mandarin, and they don't speak Mandarin if at all, and if they do, it's probably not the Mandarin that I'm speaking. And so that was really interesting, the kind of like the disparity between areas, and then also like just in general, like everything. But then also, this was a complete switch up, because in this place we had, like in Dunhuang, there would be like dogs running around, but in Xiahe, there would be like, you'd be walking on the street and there would be like rams walking around, or like packs of like pigs, or just like dogs walking around. So it was like way more of like you were very close to nature, and it was really weird to see like these animals so close, like they were right next to you. And there was, I think I have a picture of like a ram eating there's not eating it, but there's like a carton of cigarettes like right next to it, which is like a weird like combination of like nature and then humanity. But it's also very hilly in this area. So Xiahe is definitely like in the mountain ranges, and it was really, really cool. Like people went up to the mountain ranges for sunrise. There's monks walking around all over the place, and so we definitely stick out like a sore thumb in this area. This is definitely a place where people wanted to take pictures with me. There's also a lot of yaks up here, and so we went to monasteries, and I'll show you in the video, but like they had these wax carvings, and I want to say they're of. So let me see here. I think they're made up of like yak's milk, but I don't think that's what it is. Let me see, just 1 second. Okay, yes. So I don't know what the carvings are made out of, but they're really, really intricate. You can definitely tell they're done by hand. But it was definitely one of my favorite places that we went while we were in Xiahe. And yeah, like you just see like cats walking around or dogs walking around. Like it was a very interesting place. And you can definitely tell like these are mountain people. And this is like their area. It was a very small place, but I really, really enjoyed it. I think it was a nice change of pace, and definitely one of the places that like I don't know if I'd be able to go there again by myself, just because like it was definitely a benefit to go with the program. But if I could ever go back there with people, I would definitely go. And then also before we left, we went to like as we were leaving, we stopped by, and it was called the Sangka grasslands. And this was really, really cool. Just this beautiful area where people live out on this huge grassland by the mountains. And again, this place is Tibetan, and they have these prayer flags that are connected to strings that are connected to the ground, and they're all leading to this big pole. And they are so beautiful. It was one of my favorite things to look at. They also had these like kind of like earthen tents, and so these would be places where people would live and also like pray. But it was a really, really beautiful place, and like one of my favorite things I saw, they had like stables out there, like they had lots of horses, and just the place in general was really awesome. I really, really enjoyed Xiahe a lot, and I'll show you some of the pictures of it, and it's just a beautiful place, and really, really nice people. I really enjoyed my time. Hopefully this was a good video for you to watch. I love thinking about this stuff just because it's a great refresher for me. 2 years is such a long time, especially whenever you had so many things going on in a matter of hours and minutes. So thank you guys so much for watching, or if you're not watching, then shame on you. But appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later.